Okay, top 5 sports movies. Kingpin, White Men Can't Jump, The Last Boy Scout, another Wayans classic, Little Giants, of course, and Celtic Pride. That's right, a double dose of Woody, a double dose of Wayans, with a dash of Moranis. Can I get a hell yeah? Yeah, well, I guess while I'm saying sports movies, I'm using the term kind of loose, as all my favorites always deal with said sport as a plot device, rather than focusing in on the game. But here in Celtic Pride, we kind of get the best of both worlds, as the basketball stuff is done well, and clearly with love behind it, and the main story deals not with the players, but with the fans. And while I'm not a sports guy, I do get toxic fandom. Oh hell. Celtic Pride really does have a lot going for it, and is a lot funnier than I remember. I actually got to see this one in theaters back when, and I've always loved this movie. I guess not too many other people did, though. But regardless of its box office performance or lack thereof, and overall forgotten legacy, I'm willing to bet that Celtic Pride is indeed one of the most underrated basketball movies ever made. So, with the help of my good friend Stephen Monkey Mason over at Lonely Tree Entertainment, hear me out.
The team, the Celtics, the event, the NBA Finals, and their biggest fans are Jimmy and Mike. Unfortunately,
he's gonna shoot it every time!
The Utah Jazz,
I want him dead!
has Lewis Scott.
I'm on fire.
We went over there and, got him messed up, completely wrecked, so he was too hungover to play well on Sunday.
We kidnapped him.
The real game is about to begin.
1996 was quite the year for sports-themed movies, basketball in particular. Some of them were underrated. Some of them were straight-up ass. Some of them were bona fide mega hits. And others were sexually horny classics. And I think with Celtic Pride, well, we get all of the above. The premise for Celtic Pride goes as such. Two over-loyal Celtic fans kidnap their opponent's star player in order to guarantee their team the championship. Well, way to sell the picture, you guys, goddamn. And what a cast we have here, right? I mean, we have a grown-up Kevin Arnold and Daniel Stern in a very revealing performance. The anally probed comedy legend Dan Akroyd in a supporting performance, for once strange. Actual sports icon Christopher McDonald. Damon Wayans, who is killing it this year, in a very convincing basketball lead role. And, of course, all the sports cameos you can handle, plus one from Daryl Hammond and Jeff Ross. All in a script written by Judd Apatow and Colin Quinn. How could the film fail? Well, I guess it kind of did. But again, there were so many other basketball flicks for fans to check out that year, and I don't know. How big was the Celtic fan base at this time? I honestly don't know. And not even Apatow's name could help it, as, well, his name wasn't shit at the time. At the time, Apatow had already written the film The Cable Guy, which also came out that year, but due to a series of rewrites, he didn't get any credit. So Celtic Pride went on to be Apatow's second screenplay credit, after the hilarious Heavyweights, of course. Should I review Heavyweights? You guys like that movie? Skinny Wiener? You all know I have a fondness for films about guys being up to no good, flawed people. And here we get some pretty fleshed out characters, with Mike O'Hara and Jimmy Flaherty alike. With Mike, we get a worn out former pro hopeful who played a bit back when and is now a PE teacher, who's at the risk of losing his wife and kid due to his reluctance to grow up. Basically, he just refuses to grow up.
No flips on the trampoline. You have your friend Billy Williams to thank for that. He had to sue the school after hurting his neck.
And it's not helped by the presence of his man-child walking sports encyclopedia best friend Mike. And the film actually plays off some pretty dark tones and ideas, just all done hilariously. And as far as Damon Wayans, well, damn. This was his third film of 1996. We've covered the other two, check those out. But here, he gets a lot to do, and again, is oddly fleshed out for such a quick runtime of a comedy, you know what I mean?
Who are you, man? Some bitter ex-high school player who never really made it. You sit around watching sports, criticizing professional athletes because you wish it was you out there.
And Wayans brings his famous charm to the role. I mean, as far as buying him as either a football player or a boxer or a basketball star, I think this one is by far the easiest to take in. He really does seem like a pro basketball player, you know, and he plays such a dickhead in the beginning, you really root for our main idiots. What the film does that I thought was just genius is it plays with sports fans, really getting you into their skin, if you will, with the memorabilia and the superstitions and stuff. Some of the best scenes in the film actually take place in the bleachers. As for the director, well, I have no idea. I have no idea how he got this gig, as his previous film had nothing to do with basketball at all. Trust me, I checked. But he would go on to get the job after being personally fired by Jim Carrey on the set of Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. So I guess they got him pretty cheap. Yeah, but he did a good job here. Hey guy that made those movies, you did a good job. Fun fact, Yugoslavian basketball star and actor Vladimir Kuk would also star with the young Marlon Wayans in The Sixth Man, released the following year. Don't worry, we'll get to that one eventually. The film absolutely bombed upon release and was lampooned by critics for the most part, but did okay on cable and video. And being a Disney-owned property, well, I think they made it out okay.
You are in Beantown now, baby! Beantown!
But as for Damon Wayans, his infamous 1996 run of underperforming films would lead to the end of the Wayans-sance, as he would mainly just have one more starring feature after that. And yeah, you know, we'll get to that one too, I guess. But first, we're going to go back and touch on another Wayans sports classic from his early years, as well as take a special detour into Damon Wayans' time on our Saturday mornings. You guys remember that cartoon Waynehead? I didn't think so. And as I've stated before, it's pretty strange how big Wayans movies are overseas. Seriously, from what I've found, they really did find a pretty big audience over there, which brings me to our special guest, Stephen Monkey Mason, our good friend from across the pond over at Lonely Tree Entertainment. Give him a sub, why don't you? Take it away, my man.
Jazz music sucks!
Hi everyone, my name is Stephen Monkey Mason, all the way here in Newcastle, England, jumping on the Slaunch TV. Okay, so before I have a little bit of rant about the movie, we're talking about Celtic Pride. Now in England, it's football. That's with your feet, not carrying the ball. Alright? Football. Baseball. I would definitely enjoy baseball. Bowling's definitely not a thing over here. You know, bowling's not a thing. The next big thing is rugby. We also have cricket. I don't understand. I don't really know the rules of American stuff, so when films like this really have passion about the product they're doing, it's just gone. I remember seeing this in video shops, and it's something I totally forgot about. Dan Akroyd, Ghostbusters, Great Outdoors, Blues Brothers, Daniel Stern, Home Alone, City Slickers, and Damon Wayans couldn't do no wrong. Then Damon Wayans just disappeared. Like literally, I know he's been popular in loads of American TV shows, but in the UK, disappeared. Not until he turned up a Lethal Weapon. It's like, why was he never in any of the scary movies? Isn't he like the first Wayne brother? It's like, can no one get the Baldwins together? Can no one get the Wayne brothers together? Big fan, watched it anyway. Did a review a couple of years ago on the channel of Lonely Tree Entertainment, and I was just waffling away like I am now. This has one of the, like, a very hidden ending. Like, it just hits the black credit roll, starts zooming up, and then just as you think the credit's going to finish, it fades into the actual stadium getting knocked down, which is like, wow, it's like a totally hidden bit. It's just like, are you still watching? Well, I was. There's one thing about Daniel Stern. His eyes reactions is just money. He is golden. His look of like fear, dread, understanding. He's just got the best glare. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Daniel Stern is just gold every time. I do enjoy the black and white silhouettes, which, you know, starts off with the basketball player, it's Nike advert. I love them. Really well filmed. But then the payoff with Dan Akroyd spoofing it, I am a plumber. It's just like, I'm surprised Dan Akroyd didn't get cast as Super Mario Bros. At this point. It is quite a long time before this title screen. It's a contender. It's no Friday the 13th, the remake. It's got a massive, it's massively long before Celtic Pride. The thing about this as well is Dan Akroyd just looks like he's an out of work Ghostbuster at this point, being the plumber, the gear on, and just he's got very like Ghostbuster mannerisms in this for sure.
He wouldn't even let you make the banana pancakes.
I was gonna make them too. I was in the mood.
One of the things I did spot in this movie, which is really cool from being here in Newcastle in England, is Newcastle Brown Ale is advertised in the bar. It's one of Newcastle's biggest exports as an ale going out there. Now, I'm not a big drinker of Newcastle Brown Ale at all. My younger brother Sam is all the way from Wellington in New Zealand, and when Sam was here, he was like, I want to try Newcastle Brown Ale. He drank about that much. He was like, ugh. Do you know what I mean? One of the best things about this movie is the crowd. The way they do the crowd, and like, oh, make sure you sit in the right seat, and the old couple next to him, and wrong box of Short Tuesday or whatever they're going for, then blame the friend. Like, what are you doing here? The last time we were here, we lost the game. Like, get away from him. Apart from Dan Akroyd in drag, which is an eye-opener, I think the movie's got a lot of heart in the run to the ring, and just the back thing of Damon Wayans, you know, not really having too many friends and him actually finding passion. So there is some back morals in there, and it's life lessons as well as like moving on. His character's Daniel Stern, you know, like has passion to become like, wants to be a coach, and then the cheering and the passion of the fans as well. You know, Daniel Stern didn't really have another big hit over here. Damon Wayans fell into obscurity. Dan Akroyd would literally fizzle out and always be a constant, but this was like the downward side of that. Just remember it on the shelf, VHS covers never changed. It's funny, it's got a lot of passion behind it. How many times I'm going to say a passion in it? And I say, like, you really get into it, but sometimes it is hard to follow from over here in the UK. Like me speaking dead fast in an American video, people are like, what the fuck's he saying?
Thanks for joining us again, Stephen. Very happy to have you back on the channel.
Bowling pins now on the floor, baseball bats.
I recommend Celtic Pride for anybody with, you know, an unhealthy drive to obsess over shit. As Celtic Pride is indeed one of the most underrated Boston basketball hostage Larry Bird cameoing sexually horny Disney cult classics ever made, trust me. Thanks for watching, Staunch Gang. Let me know your favorite sports movies down below, and please subscribe and hit that notification bell, like this video, and go subscribe to Lonely Tree Entertainment right now. Oh, hey Staunch Gang, didn't see you there. Hey, if you haven't gotten your t-shirt yet, they are only $10. Be somebody, baby.
Hello in the outtakes. I've just had a look there. Celtic Pride has been discontinued for 10 years over here in the UK. So you can't just walk into the shop and go, can I have Celtic Pride please? Because it's not available anymore. So I thought I'd just add that for Dan to put in. Bye.